Bickley and Marotta mornings. Arizona sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Kyler Murray has had two truly amazing moments this season, and they are connected by a singular theme. There was the touchdown pass he threw to Elijah Higgins, where he turned and put his index finger in the air while the pass was still on its way to the end zone. That was pretty cool. And then there was the 50-yard run against the 49ers on Sunday, where he put that index finger in the air again at the 44-yard line, prematurely celebrating a touchdown he knew was inevitable. Both of those plays speak to the joy that Murray felt at winning a big moment before the moment even arrived. It was the joy of winning the battle between the ears and the battle that has been so hard for him during the early stages of his professional career. And to me, those two plays define his NFL journey. A kid who found football so easy as a schoolboy phenom in Texas, and a young man who has found football very difficult at its highest level. Now, on Wednesday, Murray said he's really looking forward to his first trip at Lambeau Field for the chance to make history in a place known for history, and it's a great chance for him to get back what he lost in his last game against the Packers that night when the Cardinals were 7-0 and flying high, and A.J. Green forgot to turn around in the end zone. K1 can close that chapter and open a new one on Sunday, getting back much of what he's lost along the way.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple that I haven't played in, but yeah, I mean, as a human, I think you just you assess where you've been, and it's a blessing to be in this position and be able to go to different stadiums and different atmospheres, and just be in that position.
Yeah, the Cardinals going to Lambeau. There's Kyler Murray making his first trip to Lambeau Field. It'll be a second career start against the Packers. Of course, the one was mentioned in the blast, the Thursday night game in 2021, where the fate of the franchise really changed.
Really did, for many years to come.
Yeah, it was a devastating loss in the moment, but they have never bounced back from it.
No.
So. The Cardinals did win their last game at Lambeau Field in 2018. Before that, they hadn't won there since 1949. So it's not the easiest place to play.
No.
But there's a little wind in the sails.
A little bit.
After a comeback victory over the San Francisco 49ers. And look, if the Cardinals really want to show improvement, that's the next step, is start to stack wins.
Yeah, that's it. Stack wins, especially against quality opponents.
Yes, and to follow up what was a brilliant performance against a marginalized Rams team with two straight losses, and both discouraging in their own way. Certainly the Washington game was completely discouraging, but they haven't won consecutive games in quite some time.
Yeah, the last four games have been great, mediocre, horrible, great.
Yeah.
It's like so inconsistent throughout the last four games, really the whole season.
So his great game was against the Rams. They followed that up with a two-game losing streak in which he was not great at all. And that last game against the Commanders left a serious mark on a lot of people. We all felt it. It was, again, the who was as important as the how in that particular circumstance, and it left a mark. He the whole team responded very admirably Sunday against the 49ers, and I think that applies to Kyler Murray as well. If he comes back and beats the Packers now, that's a two-game winning streak against two really good teams at a time when people, and I know because I put myself in this class, when even the staunchest of Kyler Murray defenders began to wonder, is this going to happen for the kid?
Yeah.
Is he going to find greatness? Because then that's the context, man. This is what this kid has always been in football. He will tell you to this day he expects to be great. He expects to be that dude in the NFL. And not a lot of young quarterbacks are like that. A lot of them come in and talk like that. Josh Rosen, 7 mistakes, 9 mistakes, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But you've seen a lot of young quarterbacks, the minute they taste a little adversity, they're shook. They're like, I don't know if I can do this. And Kyler Murray is never getting off that vibe. So I think that this particular game, but the reason why I mentioned those two plays in the blast is because isn't it ironic that two of his probably the two best highlights of this season involve him celebrating a touchdown before it even happens?
Yeah.
It's odd.
I hadn't, until I read your column, I hadn't even put that together.
Yeah.
But it was, we talked about both of them, after the Rams game, just a remarkable individual play, but that ball's halfway to the end zone, and he's pulling the Steph Curry.
Yeah, exactly.
He's celebrating.
Exactly. And so I think that for those two plays to draw those two reactions, I started thinking about this. Kyler Murray scored an absurd amount of touchdowns in college. Via running and passing. The number is staggering. How many times did Kyler Murray break containment in high school and maybe even in college and just know he was never going to be touched? I'm not sure he's had that feeling in a long, long time, and he had it Sunday against the 49ers, and it really filled him full of joy and exhilaration. And I think that's what it is. I think it's the idea that, okay, I'm figuring this out.
Here's Kyler Murray yesterday on the message this week, coming off that San Francisco win.
I mean, the message remains the same. But as far as just, I think as a whole, I know everybody's excited about the win. It was a huge win for us. But as far as like you got to have competitive stamina. You can't get too high, can't get too low. Obviously, it was like I said, it was a big win for us. But we got to go back to work and do the same thing this week. The process remains the same. Take it day by day. Just because we won that game doesn't mean we're going to go to Green Bay and win this game. So we know that, and we know we got to have a good week of practice.
Yeah, the last time the Cardinals won consecutive games, by the way, it was not quite. We mentioned that Green Bay game. They did follow that up with a 3-1 stretch. They followed up with a win over San Francisco. Then they lost to Carolina in that ugly game. And that was another sign of, something's wrong with this team. But then they did win in Week 11 that year. They beat the Seahawks. And then they had the bye week. And then they went on the road and they beat the Bears. And then they finished 1-5. And it's not been the same since then.
Kyler Murray became a national thing after that game against the Rams. You win on Sunday. It's going to happen for him again. And so I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping that this moment brings out the best in him. And because for this football team to crawl out of 1-3, because let's be honest here, we were all looking at 1-5, maybe 1-7. You get out of this 3-3, you're in great shape.
Oh, way better than we thought.
Better.
2 weeks ago. Murray also commented on the Cardinals going into this shorthanded on the offensive line.
It is. It's very tough, but it's next man up mentality. I'm confident in anybody who steps in there, and we just, we got to rally around those guys and allow them and make them feel comfortable, play their best ball.
And the other part about it is, and one of the highlights offensively for the Cardinals has been this streak that's intact going into this week at this game in Green Bay. Scoring a touchdown on their first drive in 5 straight games is just a
stunning,
completely foreign feeling.
It is.
Here was Kyler Murray on that.
Could be.
Let me set that up better. Here's Kyler Murray on whether or not the first drive success in scoring touchdowns is because of reliance on the script.
Could be. I think the 49ers are obviously they're a great team. The drive was only 2 plays, so it's not like they got to get in the rhythm of what was going on, or we did either. But I think you just come out and you try to hit the other team in the mouth and play flat, play fast, play physical, and start the game off hot. I think every team would want to start the game off that way, But again, it goes back to us. We have to sustain that.
Now, one of the challenges for Kyler Murray and the rest of that offense this week is going to be taking care of the ball. Green Bay, through 5 weeks, has forced 14 turnovers.
Yes.
Which is the most in the NFL. They're also number 1, not surprisingly, in turnover margin, even though they've had some turnover problems of their own. But 14 is a huge number.
Yeah,
that indicates it's a priority for that defense. You got to be really buttoned up if you're the Cardinals, who've done a decent job with taking care of the football.
Yeah,
so far.
And the other element that I'm stoked about is James Conner vibes on this stuff too. Going into these harsh, difficult, traditional, historic environments and just lowering the plow.
Physical game.
Yeah.
Cool weather. Let's go.
So and I think we've learned enough that element has to be there for the best version of the Cardinals to emerge. Because everything plays off that feeds you your time of possession. James Conner gets going, you're controlling the game. The other offense is on the sideline. Your defense is getting a rest. Everything good happens off of James Conner leading the way.
Yep.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.